Good morning, children. This is video part 3 of lesson number 9, verbs finite and non-finite. In this video, we'll be learning the remaining two non-finite verbs, gerunds and participles. Let's take this quick test to find out how much have we retained about infinitives and bare infinitives. The question is, choose the correct option from the brackets. He agreed to give or give permission for the rally. Now he agreed for what? For what is answered by infinitive. So the correct choice will be to give. So he agreed to give permission for the rally. She can to discuss or discuss the lesson now. Now can is a modal verb. If you remember the rule, modals are followed by bare infinitive. So discuss is the bare infinitive, which is the correct choice here out of the two. She can discuss the lesson now. He heard her to cry and or cry with pain. So she heard. Heard is what? Is a verb of perception. And verbs of perception should be followed by a bare infinitive. So she heard her cry is the correct choice because it is a bare infinitive. The fireman tried to control or control the fire. The fireman tried what? So it is answered by an infinitive. The fireman tried to control is the correct choice. The second type of non-finite verbs are gerunds. Now, what are gerunds? They are ing form of the verbs and they function as a noun in a sentence. So, whenever I say a word acting as a noun in a sentence, it's going to answer to the question what. Now, gerunds can function as a subject, direct object, indirect object, or also as an object of preposition. Take this example, singing is her hobby. Now, if you observe, singing here is the name of an activity and it is also answering to the question what. So, what is her hobby? Singing is her hobby. So, singing here is acting as a noun and so it is called as a gerund. It is also acting as the subject of the main verb is. Okay, so that is why singing is actually ing form of the verb, but it is doing the work of a noun, so it is called as a gerund. Now, in the previous slide, children, I had mentioned that gerunds function as subject, direct object, indirect object, and also an object of preposition. So, let us understand each of these with the help of an example. She likes swimming. She likes what? Swimming. So your swimming is acting as direct object of the verb likes. He was involved in hunting of the black bug. Now here hunting is following the verb, the preposition in. So here hunting is acting as object of preposition. And also hunting is answering to the question what? He was involved in what? He was involved in hunting. So in both these cases, swimming and hunting are acting as objects or acting as a noun. The ing verbs are also used in the continuous tense, but the gerunds are verbal nouns because gerunds are not preceded by any helping verb. The dancing was exceptionally good. Here, was is following the gerund, and here the dancing is acting as a noun. How? It is answering to the question what? What was exceptionally good? The dancing was exceptionally good. So dancing is not being used here to indicate any tense. It is acting as a gerund. She was dancing like a pro. Now if you observe, dancing is preceded by the verb was. So here it is acting as the verb indicating past continuous tense and dancing here is not a gerund. Participles are the third kind of non-finite verbs. Now, what is a participle? It is a verbal adjective, means a verb that performs the function of an adjective. What is an adjective? An adjective is a word that describes a noun or it answers to the question what kind of. Now, participles are of two kinds. When a verb ends in ing it is called as present participle. And when a verb ends with D, ed, t or en, then it is called as past participle. Now these two forms of verbs, if they function as an adjective in a sentence, they are called as participles. For example, dancing dolls are sold here. Now word dancing here is formed by adding ing to the verb, right? But it is describing the noun doll rather than doing the action. Therefore, it is a participle and it is called as present participle. Let's take the second example. He wore a torn shirt. Here the word torn is formed from the verb tear having n ending, but it is describing the noun shirt rather than doing the action. Therefore, it is a participle. And which kind of participle? Past participle. The present participle is also used to form continuous tenses, but when it is preceded by a helping verb. As in this example, I am reading the book he gave me. Now, am reading. If you observe, reading is actually present participle, but it is preceded by a helping verb am. So, am along with reading is indicating present continuous tense. But when it is not preceded by a be verb or have verb and functions as an adjective, then it becomes participle. Now the past participle is used to form perfect tenses, but it should be preceded by have form of verb, either have, has or had. As in this example, he had wounded his brother badly. Now had wounded is not here. Here wounded is not performing the function of a participle because it is preceded by helping verb had and it is indicating past perfect tense here. But when it is not preceded by a have verb and functions as an adjective, then it becomes participle. Now the participles can also be used to join sentences like I met some girls, they were playing in the park. Now by just using one participle, we can contract this sentence like I met some girls playing in the park. The object of the first sentence, what is the object in the first sentence? Some girls, right? It is the object of the verb met. It becomes the subject of the second verb, the subject of the second sentence. For example, I met some girls playing in the park. Now here, girls, which was object of the first sentence, has become the subject of the second sentence. The man saw a car. The car was moving at a great speed. So how will we join it by using a participle? The man saw a car moving at a great speed. Now if you observe, a car is the object of the first sentence. But when we join these two sentences using a participle, now here car becomes subject of the second sentence. Children, besides the two participles that we have learned, past participle and present participles, there is a third kind of participle also, which is perfect participles, and they are formed when the verb is preceded by having word. Children, it's time to check if you are clear with the concept of a gerund and a participle. Gerund is a verbal noun and participle is a verbal adjective. So let's start. Now the first one is the screeching brakes were repaired by the mechanics. Now screeching is actually answering to the question what kind of brakes. So it is acting as an adjective here. Therefore it's performing the function of a participle. Second, taming animals is unethical. Now taming here is the name of an activity. So it is acting as a noun. What is unethical? Taming animals is unethical. So it is a gerund here. Gaming is a billion-dollar industry now. What is gaming? Gaming here is again performing the function of a noun. So it is a gerund. Her graceful dancing was appreciated by all. What was appreciated by all? Graceful dancing. So dancing here again is acting as a noun name of an activity. So it's a gerund here, verbal noun. Blooming flowers look beautiful. What kind of flowers look beautiful is being answered by blooming. And whenever a word answers to the question what kind of, it is an adjective. So it's a verbal adjective, therefore it is a participle here. They bought baking trays. They bought what kind of trays? They bought baking trays. Baking is describing trays here. So it is performing the role of an adjective. So it is a participle here. I hope this exercise has helped you to understand the concept of a gerund and a participle. Children, you should remember these terms also, that gerund is a verbal noun and participle is a verbal adjective. Thank you. Children, this brings us to the end of video 3 and of course to the end of the lesson number 9, verbs finite and non-finite. Now along with the link of video 3, I will be sending a link of 3 reference videos. One is on gerund and 2 are going to be on participles. Please do watch the reference videos also after you have watched video 3. Thank you.